What's up YouTube, it's Louis here. I hope you're all well. I'm finally back with another Bitcoin update for you guys. We're looking at the weekly time frame. You can see that since the 18th of June, we've basically been saying the bottom is in, and we were anticipating we would reach this 27k target or this 200 EMA on the weekly time frame to either retest it as resistance or to break through it. But what we were anticipating back in June and July was we're eventually going to hit this 200 EMA and we're going to get rejected, and we're going to have this 20 to 30% dump where all the bears are going to go cream themselves. This is what I told you guys back in June, July, and even in August as well. And so that's exactly what's happening now. The only difference with what we were saying is that we did think it was going to go a little bit higher, in and around the high 25 to about 27, 28k, but that unfortunately didn't happen. We ran into the weekly 12 EMA. This is what has sent us lower. So by respecting this 12 weekly EMA as resistance, this means by the rules, by the EMA rules, by just the rules of resistance, this is obviously lower than the previous high. So this is a lower high. And so basically that means what should follow is a lower low. So what if the bears are correct? If this EMA is correct, we should actually see a lower low. So if we're not seeing a lower low, then that's showing you that the bears aren't truly there. That they were there to push you down from the EMA, but let's see the loss of support. This is why on the channel we've been talking about this low over here. You see we had this spike. This was the lowest point, but after the lowest point you found support in this area. So that's why we're constantly on this channel saying 18.6k. You might be so annoyed about that, but that is the level where if we're above it, I can't be bearish. Remember, this is also the golden pocket again. Yes, correct. We should have never closed below this. We had a weekly close below it. That's so negative. But the last layer of defense is that 18.6k. Basically, what's happening, as long as we're below this now, we should continue downwards. What can stop us from going downwards is this 18.6k level. So by staying below, by closing below the golden pocket, we should have held it and gone up. But by closing below, it basically means now we are going down. We are going down. The target is 18.5k out of an M pattern, which I gave all the way up here. I said if it validates, this is the target. It wasn't valid up then, but I prepared you. It eventually happened. So we were prepared with the target prepared, 18.5k. We have not invalidated the target. Let's go to the daily now. This is the M pattern over here. One top, second top. This is your neckline. So by closing below that over here with this red candle, you've validated the target to 18.5k. Let me just get rid of these drawings and go back to the daily time frame. So you can also see there's this green line that we're constantly respecting. Here, you went through it, but got back above it, confirmed its support, came to it again, went under it, came back above, held its support there. And you're holding it as support right now. This is actually the 2018 all-time high. So what you're doing here, and what I can personally see with my own eyes, not with my emotion, but with my own eyes, is that we're holding this level as support. There's been occasions where we've gone through it, but came back above, confirmed its support. Occasions when we've gone through it, come back above, confirmed its support, continue. Same thing again, and continue. So we're constantly holding the previous all-time high as support. That's amazing to see. It means that it's much less risky to buy the previous all-time high than it was 5 years ago at this time when we were at 20k or 19 whatever k, 19.6k in 2017, 5 years ago. Of course, it was a much riskier time to buy Bitcoin at 19k, but now 5 years on, everyone's panic selling 19, 20k when actually it's much safer than buying Bitcoin 5 years ago. And the people that bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, even if they bought the top, yes, 5 years on we're at the same price, but we did actually go to 69k. So there was chance, even if you did buy the exact top, you did actually make money 4 years on. 5 years on, you're back at the same price. It's just giving you that opportunity again where people think, oh no, it's game over. Yeah, well, it's up to everyone's interpretation. But yeah, for me personally, I'm not going to look at these. I'm prepared, of course. We have our 14k target. We have 15.9, so we'll call it 16, 15, and 14k target. These are the 1618s. We also have two targets, 12.3, 11.1, and 10.6k as targets. We also have the wave 1 high. Do you know what the wave 1 high is? So if we look at the weekly, our bear market finished in 2018 right here, and this is our wave 1 high right there, that wick. But when we go to the monthly time frame, I can personally see that the body's closed here at about 10.7k. So that's why I've drawn this line exactly there on that monthly wave 1 high. I don't care about the wick, I care about the monthly, because on certain coins like VeChain, I'll just bring you to V chain, for example. You can see we came almost all the way to the bodies. You're allowed to come to the bodies. Look, can you see the wicks past those wicks? So the reason why I'm telling you this, because certain YouTubers at the moment are saying we can't lose 13.7k, but I'm here telling you it's not 13.7k, it's the monthly high, and the monthly high is 10.7. So technically you can go all the way to 10.7k and you'd still be bullish in terms of in the future we will continue up once that's happened, and that's if it happens. I'm just preparing you. Again, that doesn't have to happen whatsoever, and I've explained none of that has to happen as long as we're holding 18.6k. That is our last layer of defense. So when I'm getting people, you know, when we're dumping over here and dumping over here, I'm constantly getting people saying, Louis, is it time to sell, this and that? Well, if I'm telling you guys, as long as we're above 18.6k, the bottom is in, then why would you sell? If we're closing below 18.6k, then it's time to, rethink your positions in the market. We could go a bit lower, you know, maximum. Well, I can't say max, no one knows where this is going. But the max target for that moment, for this moment, if we were to lose the 1 fib level, then it is 10.6k. That's the max target. That's what the max you should be expecting. Just like over here, with this big retracement that we had at the beginning of the year, everyone was thinking we're going back to all-time highs. I said, no, relax, we're going down. I gave you guys an eventual target to 25k and 17k. We hit those targets, and when a target's met, you usually form a pattern in the opposite direction. So it's quite clear that if we are holding 18.6k, what is the pattern we could potentially be seeing? Remember, when we meet a pattern's target, and this was the target, and the pattern's target was met, you usually form a pattern in the opposite direction. So, and this is not a 100% of the time, this is most of the time. So yes, you can actually form a pattern to go down lower. However, most of the time, let's say 2/3 of the time, once you finish a pattern, you form a pattern in the opposite direction. This is why when you go on your chart, you see M's turn to W's, you see W's turn to M's. So if we're going on the higher time frames, like your weekly time frame, this is a massive double top. So down here, obviously this is not as big, nowhere near as big, but down here we're getting something looking like a potential W, and that is only if we hold 18.6k. You need to hold that bottom. So if we can hold this 18.6k and attack this high over here, 24.3, and close above 24.3 on the weekly, let's actually go to the daily. Let's draw this a bit clearer. Let's get you some exact levels. So on the daily, we can actually see some sort of ascending support over here. Can you see that? Where we've held it for 3 days in a row in this area. We've got support here, 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 and 4 separate occasions. In this one occasion here, 3 touches. In this one occasion here, multiple touches. So when I'm looking at the touches, I'm looking at the separate occasions like 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than counting every single touch of the line. It's a bit, don't need to do that. But we've got this ascending support, and we've also got a resistance over here. And again, we were saying when a pattern's target is met, meaning this target usually form a pattern in the opposite direction. So we're trying to form a bullish pattern that could be a double bottom, and if we're holding 18.6k, that's going to give it more validity. And what you need to now do is hold 18.6k. Maybe we could have a little fake out like this, come back to the top here, probably going to dump, everyone gets scared again, but you can see some sort of ascending triangle will start to form over here with this ascending support like this and this horizontal resistance just like that, and you're trapped in between this until an eventual breakout. So this is obviously the bullish case. Again, the bearish scenario, I've given you your targets, all the targets are over here, and this is how it happens. Just we'll get into the bearish targets in a bit more detail again, but let's just finish with this ascending triangle target. So that would be your target over here, and let's just get rid of that for now. This would be your target from the resistance. The resistance is the highest body candle close right there, back to support, and then you can see over here this would be your target in and around 31.8k. But guys, this is not going to happen until you validate the target, and the validation point is a daily close above 24.4k. So we're nowhere near there, so don't expect this going to happen tomorrow, next week, the week after. No, we're just preparing if we hold 18.6k. And remember, right now we're going to it. Yes, there's this ascending support. That is what's been holding us for these past 3 days, as we can see over here. 1, 2, 3 days of actually holding it, and then the second, and then the next day you're a bit above it, you haven't really touched it again. So This is the area to hold. This is what's basically going to give us this opportunity to head back to resistance. We have major EMAs as resistance as well, basically saying it's going to constantly try and push us lower and lower and lower, because the EMAs are saying we are now in a downtrend. The only thing like saving us is this 18.6k. So if this 18.6k is lost, you're not in this uptrend that we were talking about. Since the 18th of June, you are in an uptrend. You started to show signs that you're trying to break that by losing this. By losing the golden pocket, you're showing signs that the uptrend is weakening, and your final layer of defense is this 18.6k. So if it's lost, then it's not an uptrend from the 18th of June. It's no longer an uptrend. Okay? That's if 18.6k is lost. So I hope that was so clear in today's update. Please like, subscribe, as we're trying to hit 3.4k as soon as possible. Let's try and get that as soon as possible. And yeah, thank you guys for the constant support. And yeah, again, comment for the algorithm, share the video to get more people watching these Bitcoin updates. I really appreciate you all. Thanks. Oh yeah. Actually, I forgot. Yeah, I wanted to show you the bearish scenario. Sorry about this, guys. So I've showed you the bearish targets, but how do we actually meet this 10k target if it were to happen? So many things need to happen. First, need to lose obviously the 786 and the 1 fib level to validate these targets. Once you lose the one, you've validated the first three, the 1272 until the 1618, and you'll bounce at one of them. It could be the first one you bounce at or the last one, but wherever you bounce, as long as you're below this, so if we bounce and we come all the way to it, that's still below. Coming all the way to it is still below. I want to see it above it, closing above it. And if you're not doing so, as long as we're below the 1 fib level, we have to believe we're going to go lower. And that's how you basically head to the two targets. If we hit this 1618 and reclaim this purple line and reclaim this gold box, you will never see 10k. That is basically what I'm trying to get at. But if we fail to reclaim this purple line and this purple and this orange box here, and yeah, most likely gonna eventually go down to there. That is how the fibs work, guys. That is what we've been saying on the channel for 9-10 months plus now with the fibs. I'm doing so much detail with you guys. Probably one of the most in-depth fib channels on YouTube. So if you appreciate that, share that with other people that you know. Tell them, come to Louis, he will tell you how to boss and use the fibs. So thank you guys, I'll catch you in the next one. And as always, peace.